aunts and uncles, your siblings, your cousins, everybody's screaming as you're snatched away from your family, and there's nothing no one can do. In 1983, off the coast of Iceland, that's what happened to the orca Tilikin. Tilikin's life story, 2017. After that, he was then transported to a facility in Iceland to await being sold and transferred. He was placed in a small concrete tub where he pretty much floated lifeless for a year, alone, isolated, depressed. After about a year, he was then transferred to Sealand, a small marine park in Canada. You think maybe things would get better? Not really. The pool there was 100 feet by 50 feet. There were 2 other female orcas there. At least he could socialize, you would think. No. The females were from a different pod. They didn't speak the same language. They didn't have the same culture, the same habits. It's like putting a U.S. citizen that only speaks English with somebody from Japan that only speaks Japanese. No way to communicate. Different cultures, different habits. The females didn't like Tilikin. He grew depressed. The stress caused stomach ulcers. At night, they were placed in small pods that they locked them in, that they pretty much could barely fit in, so they didn't get stolen. The females raked their teeth, bit him nightly, over and over. On February 21st of 1991, just a normal day, a normal show, trainer Kelsey Bryn fell in the pool. Tilikin dragged her to the bottom. Then the orcas tossed her around. In front of a full audience of people, Kelsey drowned, and it took 2 hours to get her away from them. After that, Sealand couldn't survive. They were already small and barely making it. The bad publicity just didn't help. The orcas were put up for sale. Life at Sealand had ended. On to SeaWorld. He was sold. Tilikin was sold to SeaWorld. Maybe a little bit better? No. He was bought for their breeding program. He is responsible for more than 50% of the captive whales at SeaWorld. He is the father. The stress of breeding caused more depression, more repetitive, aggressive behavior, chewing on walls of the pool, chewing on the gates. His teeth were rotting down. They had to drill them all out. Because of this, he was given medication and antibiotics daily. They also had to hose out his teeth to make sure nothing stayed in them, to cause more of an infection. Sick, stressed, depressed, tired. Still performing, still breeding. The first incident at SeaWorld was overnight. Daniel Duke was found tossed over Tilikin's back at 7 in the morning when the morning trainers came in. Kind of funny that there's a camera in the breeding facility on all of the pools. There's 2 trainers on at night. There's security on at night, and nobody saw nothing. Daniel Duke stayed in after hours and snuck in the breeding facility. SeaWorld tells you he stripped down and got in the pool with him. No one will really know. SeaWorld tried to say he was a drug addict, high. The Orange County Sheriff's report says there were no drugs in his system. He had contusions, lacerations, hematoma of the brain, genitalia bitten off, and water in his lungs. It took them 4 hours to get Daniel Duke away from Tillican that day. But the show must go on. Tillican still performs. Nothing is done. They still put the trainer's lives at risk, the staff who gets in the pool or near him at risk. They're still breeding. Then was the day of Dawn Branchkin. It was just a normal day, doing their shows. Then they got to the show. The orcas just weren't acting right, not following their commands, not coming back when supposed to. Tillican was doing a bridge wave, which is when he waved his flipper up halfway around the pool to the bridge, got the whistle to come back. Tillican did not come back. He ran around the entire pool. So when he got back, he thought he did what he was supposed to, but he didn't because he didn't stop at the bridge and come back. So he did not get his fish treat. Tillican didn't like this. The other whales did not like that. So they pretty much stopped listening. The trainers decided to call the show. An hour after that was Dine with Shamu. It was a personal experience where you got to eat a dinner at tables with a personal, closer up moment with Tillicum and Dawn. This performance is a lot close up. She pulls him up to the side where he can get up, and she's laying with him, rubbing him, putting her face on him. He grabbed her arm, or as SeaWorld will say, her hair, because it was in a ponytail, and took her down into the pool, held her there, thrashing. There was nothing anybody could do in front of another group. Tillican is killed again. 911 operator, how can I assist you? We have a woman in the pool with the whale they're not supposed to. Orange County Sheriff's Department 911. It took them 45 minutes to get her away after moving him from pool to pool to pool, offering him treats. He wouldn't let her go. Life after Dawn. At first, Tillican was isolated, never allowed around people except for to get fed, never allowed around other orcas. Orcas are extremely social animals. This is detrimental for their health. For 13 months, he floated lifeless in a pool. Finally, after 13 months, back to performing. Insane, right? Performing again. Killing 3 people and still performing. Not his fault, but still pushed back to be a circus animal. With Tillican, no trainers in the water, no trainers allowed close. At least they did that. At the age of 36 in 2017, Tillicum died alone in a pool from a pneumonia bacterial infection because the medicine and the antibiotics could not kill it because his body rejected it from taking it every day of his entire life. At 36, that's really actually kind of young for an orca whale. orcas in their natural habitat live 60 to 80 years. There's even been orcas to live up to 100, documented. CBS News 2017. Imagine being ripped in your family and forced to be a circus animal and see how happy you are.